Welcome to the EKO Lens, the podcast where we view assistive technology through the eyes of lived experience. I'm your host, Kenisha, and every episode we explore how dignity, design, and innovation really intersect to empower blind and low vision communities. We're not just reviewing tech, we're reframing it. And this is a space for truth telling, for honoring voices that often go unheard, and for challenging the industry to do better. So whether you're a developer, a user, or someone who simply believes in equity, you're in the right place. This is the EKO Lens. Let's take a closer look. So welcome back, everyone. This week we have Scott Joffre, and I found Scott in one of our groups online. We crossed some paths, and they showed some interest on being on the podcast. And Scott is a influencer, the Blind Striker, and I was able to look up his pages and his YouTube, and there's some really neat stuff on there. So thanks for connecting, Scott. We're excited to have you on today.
Of course, it's so happy to be here.
Yeah.
So nice to be here.
Scott really brought into the space the need for screen descriptions. And I really want to first and foremost, before we go into that, thank you for elevating that, because that's something that I want to incorporate further. I am new to the blind low vision community myself, so I'm learning new things every day about new ways of accessibility. So
of course.
today,
Yeah, I mean,
we have Scott, and
I was gonna say it would be very helpful.
Yeah. And Scott is on his red couch with his teal wall behind him, and Scott is wearing a blue T-shirt that says "Life is delightful" and has
green
a
T-shirt, but yeah.
green.
Sorry,
It looks sort of blue or green on my end, but
I think it's gray actually. I think the pickle's green, but it's all right. It's all right.
And has a camel hat on with that. I see that part, but
yeah. Just whatever you see.
And my vision right now, I see just in my office, wearing my glasses, my black T-shirt today, my headphones. I'm just keeping it chill today, but excited to have you in the space today, Scott.
Yeah, thank you so much. Again, it's really honor to be here, do podcasts and stuff, and helping out the blind.
Yeah. So Scott, can you tell us a little bit about your journey and your connection to the blind and low vision community?
Yeah, of course. So I was born with retinopathy prematurity, and essentially what that means is that I was born really early. And due to that, my eyes didn't fully develop. I was born 26 weeks early, 1 pound and 8 ounces, so very tiny miracle baby. Throughout the years, I've always had bad vision, but essentially it got so bad to the point where I had a hard time identifying things. Essentially, my mom, who does commercial cleaning, she reached out to, an eye doctor that she cleans for, is now, a good friend of mine, Dr. Dorothy Hitchmoth, and she's a private eye doctor in my state, and she looked at my eyes, she examined them, and was like, okay, here's what's up. You have cataracts, you're going to lose your sight completely. And I didn't really know how to, cope that because, I'm so used to doing things, more independent than I can now, right? Not saying that I can't be independent, but it's a lot more. Yeah, you lose some of that independence, right? And I guess I didn't really know what to expect in the future. Just scared, not being able to do the things I used to do, like to do, like going for walks and playing video games. But essentially that opened the door for me to do accessibility testing for companies. She offered me to help her out from time to time in her office, testing technology and helping other people learn that technology, essentially, right? And my mom was like, he would love to do it, because I had no clue what it was at the time. At the time, I had no clue. And ever since then, I've been emailing companies and doing podcasts like this. So, and the whole awareness is to spread to help people and spread awareness towards blindness, and that you can really do anything, if you put your mind to it.
So how long was it from when you met with the doctor until you lost your sight? Do you know?
It was a year.
About a year.
So Yeah, so I had a crescent of vision in my right eye that was still seeable, still usable.
Hmm.
But she's like, you're gonna lose that little crescent that you have. Because I guess for the longest time, I don't know, maybe middle school, early or late elementary school, I probably had cataracts, at least a cataract in my left eye, and we had no clue how long it's been there. But my vision has been crazy, crazy journey.
Wow. So,
Yeah.
what was some of your experience when you first lost your vision and you were learning about new accessibility technologies? So, like, what did that look like for you? What were some of the first things that you needed or chose to learn about?
I think the first, yeah, I guess just basic things like how to navigate through my phone with voice over screen reader. Another thing is O&M training. Those are the two big key ones I think I had to learn because again, I was just getting out of high school. I wasn't really doing much. And now, I recently graduated the Carroll Center for the Blind. So now, I got to expand that broad more with like JAWS screen reader. I'm not perfect with it, but I have some knowledge with navigating through my computer, and I think that's some stuff I still need to learn.
Yeah, so you did mention that you went to the Carroll School for the Blind. Can you tell us a little bit about what that was?
Yeah, when I first went there, it was a whole new experience for me.
Hmm.
Now, being away from home for 2 weeks was like, probably the longest time because, I usually just chill here, do my own thing. I don't really, go out and do things. I mean, I do, but you know what I mean, like do day trips, right?
Hmm.
But 2 weeks out there, it opened up the door for the longest time. you know, I was scared. I was nervous. I didn't really talk to a lot of people because I'm like, well, this is new. Like, what do I'm not the greatest person when it comes to, I guess, starting conversations. I mean, I
Okay.
can. I'm a really talkative person, but when it comes to after a couple days and they know me, it's like, what do you talk about?
Hmm.
But essentially, over time, I got to make new friends. Had a really funny roommate, of mine. We used to just talk about random things and there's an experience where I'm making my bed at like 10 o'clock at night, and it's a stupid blind moment where I thought my bed was, I was more on my bed than I really was, and I fell off my bed. But luckily,
No.
I caught myself. But it's funny. And honestly, they've helped me out a lot. Mainly with O&M. And another cool thing I got to do with them was, since I knew a lot about the mobile devices and just from personal experience and learning it's the fact that I got to teach other clients. So the teachers would
Yeah.
be like asking me for help. And it was like, okay, so even to this day, I actually emailed them about an app called Lumen, which, it's like a digital email. You can navigate it through your voice. And they're like, oh, this is sick. This is pretty cool. So huge shout out to you, Lumen.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
it is.
so
It
now
is.
you're taking your knowledge that you're learning and growing, and you're also using it to help other people. So, would you say that you're doing more like accessibility training for others now?
If you would say, yeah, I mean,
Hmm.
my YouTube channel, I do tech reviews and I just share my personal experiences when it comes to being blind. I think that's part of it. Like, because sometimes I'll share, or a lot of the times I'll do tech reviews and with like the meta glasses or
Hmm.
ChatGPT, stuff like that. But then I also share like personal like pictures, like I'll make funny posts on social media. I think there was one whereas I was hanging out with my family the other day, see my grandfather, some cousins, stuff like that. And, I told my mom, I'm like, it'd be funny if we hung out on my cousin's dirt bike, right? So we put me on the dirt bike and I had my cane, I was holding it, and they took a picture of it. But it's just a funny humor, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For blindness, I just try to make people laugh. I mean, of course, I'm not gonna go around and ride a dirt bike, when I can't see. I mean, hey, maybe I can
I
use it be
mean,
my
good
eyes, but
try.
I mean, but I can call it be my eyes and be like, hey. They can look through my meta glasses, and that would be a really cool experience. But I mean, I wouldn't do that. That's really not smart.
Yeah, that's not safe.
No, no, no. So I'm not doing that, guys. I promise I'm not. It's just a joke.
Tell us a
It's-
little bit more about your YouTube.
yeah, so I started it back I started social media actually back in 2023. I think I just started posting little short clips of an app I was testing called Ally. by
Mm-hmm.
Envision. And, I was just posting little clips, sharing updates and stuff about it because it was a really cool app. And, it's still pretty cool. I mean, I don't use it as much as I did because it's been pretty slow lately. But essentially, I really enjoyed that help. And, it's a really cool connection. I got to meet Sam from the Blind Life through a Future Insight Walk for Sight event. And essentially, me and him talked about YouTube, and I asked him for advice and was like, hey, this sounds interesting. Like, how do I get involved with it? And then from there, he told me, just be yourself and, you know, do what you love to do, really, is essentially. And then from there, I just started making videos and I'm learning along the way. I mean, before, if you guys look at my previous videos, there's simple, descriptions that I write out, one or two sentences. But essentially now I use ChatGPT to help me with that. I'll give
Yeah.
a description of my video and I'll be like, hey, give me, and it'll write out a response based off of that. And I'll just go in there, delete some stuff that I know shouldn't be in there, and then, delete some hashtags. I'll re-edit things, and then yeah, I have the descriptions. I also include a accessibility like disclosure thing that I'm blind, so if you guys get a little flaky about my videos and stuff, just know I am blind and I'm doing this all by myself,
Yeah.
recording, editing, and writing out descriptions, all that fun jazz.
Have you tried using PickyBot? I think we talked about that a little bit, but PickyBot will describe your video for you.
I've heard of it. The thing that I don't know how long ago I used it, but I don't know if there's anything updated with that. But I know when I tried it, it wouldn't give me the audio for the
Yeah.
video. It would
Okay.
just give me the description. So I was like, that's not,
Okay. Yeah, there's some new
yeah,
updated stuff going on.
yeah,
We sometimes work pretty closely with the
yeah.
with
So I'll have
with
to
the
definitely
person.
check that
Yeah,
out.
Martine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So is there like a tool or technology that you wish existed?
I wish there was an easy. Well, there's a couple things, but I think the easiest thing is probably being able to stitch videos together and being
Mm-hmm.
able to identify like pauses and stutters, because that's
Mm-hmm.
essentially what's hard for me because I have to go in my camera roll or my photos and I have to say you take a 20-minute video, you have to go in
Mm-hmm.
there, swipe, and it goes by seconds or milliseconds, depending on
Yeah.
how long the video is. And you have to edit it precisely, save that clip, and then keep doing that until you get all the little clips you want. And then you have to stitch it all together. Now, I
So what's
think,
really
sorry.
cool is Riverside, what we're using right now. You
Yeah,
should look
yeah,
into it. There is a free version, but it does it for you.
yeah. And I
Hmm.
think, too, was cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if you watched the Apple keynote yesterday, in fact.
No. Mm-mm.
It was really nice. So they talked about Siri and huge AI advances, stuff that was supposed to come out 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially, you can have it do tasks for you without actually having to open the apps. So if you activated Siri and said, "Hey, take this video I have and edit it for me" or something, it might be able to do it. I mean, I'll have to try it with my iPad once I get access to like the public beta. Maybe it might work. We'll see.
Yeah.
You know.
Let me know how that works because
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
use my Apple functionalities as much as
Oh
I should
yeah,
be.
of course. And it's something that gets annoying about that is the fact that it's very limited to the
Hmm.
newer devices, and I think that's a downgrade for accessibility, really. And I know we talked about some sample questions and stuff before we started recording,
Hmm.
but essentially that's something I want is for things to be more accessible in general.
Yeah.
So for no matter what you're doing, I think that would be great to see across companies and stuff.
So tell me about your cane a little bit because it's really cool and I need folks to hear about your cool cane.
Yeah, so what I'm holding is actually a new cane that we announced the other day at the NFB State Convention. I think it's a couple weeks ago,
Okay.
but let me try to get this undone here.
Yes,
It's essentially a folding light sword.
it is. It looks like a folding light. It's a folding lightsaber,
So
people. Like,
Yeah, we can't say lightsaber though. We can't say
yes,
lightsaber, but yes, we all know
light
what it is.
sword. Okay,
Yeah.
yes,
You can't say lightsaber, but
but
yeah,
it
we all know what it
looks
is.
like it. Does it
So,
does it light up different colors and stuff, or is it
so this one does not. Since
okay?
this is a lightweight one,
Yeah.
this is a 11 ounce. This might be a little heavier because I have a
Uh-huh.
metal handle on it, but essentially it's an 11-ounce cane. It has a rolling marshmallow. Now this is a little different because I took this one off of my no jab cane and I put it in this one.
Mm-hmm.
But essentially you can put hook style tips in this, which is nice.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And then if
I like the rolling marshmallow tip myself. That's like the only one I use.
yeah, and something that's cool about this too,
Mm-hmm.
I'm adjusting it. I can make the handle bigger or smaller. So essentially, I can make the blade bigger or smaller. Sorry. Which say if you have a 50-inch cane, right? You
Mm-hmm.
need 5 or 6 more inches, maybe as you grow. Maybe good for kids as they're growing. You don't have to go buy a whole new cane because then you
Oh,
can
that's
adjust the
nice.
handle. Yeah, and you can swap out handles. I know there was a light up one that I posted about the other day on my channel. I had posted it, and my friend had done a demo with the actual Star Wars themed one where it lights up different colors, it plays music, it has sounds and stuff.
Wow.
All these canes are able to mute, of course. Now, I'm trying to unscroll this, and I think it has a little style. Oh, geez. It has a little style flashlight. That's how it powers this cane.
Okay.
And
I was
essentially,
going to ask, is it rechargeable or it takes a
it
battery or
is. So sorry, these like little nubs are not being nice to me.
yeah.
I keep it in there so that the flashlight doesn't shake around in there, but it has a big battery. You can charge it with Type
Okay.
C, or you can put two AA batteries. So say if this thing is dead, go to
And you need
CVS,
it
get
right
two
now.
AA
Mm-hmm.
batteries, put them in here, and they'll be fine.
That's
I almost put it
awesome.
in wrong. But yeah, essentially the whole idea with this particular model of cane, the new two-piece locking telescopic cane, and this folding one I'm holding is that you can, one, it's affordable, right? And two, that it can be replaced easily. So say if you break a part of the cane, you pay for that individual part, or if the flashlight dies out on you, you can go on Amazon and buy the flashlight and put it in there.
Okay. So where can we find the canes?
Yeah, so my friend, of course, makes these. They're on Sideways Innovations, and you can also find a link to them on my YouTube channel.
Yep, which I'll link here. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, like, this is not being nice to me trying to put this back on.
No, that's really interesting. Thanks for showing us that because when you had told me about it, I was like, oh,
Of
that's really
course.
cool. I think I might need one of those because I think it's
Yeah.
super awesome.
Oh, there we go. Okay, that's why it wasn't, because this wasn't twisting hard enough, I guess.
Yeah, no worries. Wow, what are you thinking about when it comes to future? Like what would you like to see with the next generation of innovators and designers and advocates when it comes to understanding our community?
Yeah, I think just making apps more accessible, right?
Yeah.
A lot of these companies love flashy designs and cool effects, right? But the thing is, when they add all these features, all these AI features, all these things, the thing that sucks about it is that it breaks old features. So having you know people understand, okay, like accessibility needs to come first, still fix these and maintain these old features, but also have the ability to add, new ones and make sure they're actually working. Because I noticed
Yeah.
there's some companies, especially Facebook, they add a couple new features and it breaks features that, you know, we loved or we were able to use easily, or they add things. I remember there was one where it was like, you hover your voiceover over a post and it doesn't read the entire post, it reads part of it, and then you have to tap on it and open it to be able to view it, and it was so annoying. Or the back button issue was not working with Facebook. So it's just small things like that, you know what I mean?
You know what's really interesting is so I work in tech a little bit and I am on the end that helps build. So
Yeah.
I've learned, not just my area but others, but we don't bring in the right people to be able to test it out, right? Like I should be,
Oh yeah, of
well, not
course.
me, right? But like Facebook
Hmm.
or whoever is building, if we're going to make sure that these things are accessible for blind and low vision folks, we need to be bringing blind and low vision people in to test it before we're deploying it.
Well,
So,
of course. I mean, that's what I
mhm,
think too. Like, I think
mhm,
a lot of these companies are like, "Oh no, it's accessible," when we complain about it, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we tested it." Like, how do we know? Like, maybe you just turned on the screen reader for 5 minutes and played around with it. Oh, it works,
mhm,
and just left it be. Like,
mhm.
the biggest thing about accessibility is in with gaming too. There's one company that I know of that's out there that just barely added accessibility features due to the fact that the EU kind of forced them to, and
Oh
that's
my goodness.
Nintendo. Nintendo,
Wow.
you
Yeah.
know, yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
and
really?
yeah, and then yeah, Nintendo, yeah. The Switch 2, they added a screen reader support, but for a lot of the internal like technology when like navigating through the eShop or navigating through some of the chat menus, it doesn't read it, you
Oh,
know,
that's
yeah,
really interesting.
or not well at
My
all.
kids have a Switch, but I don't play it.
I know. I want to play Nintendo. I mean, I grew up on Nintendo, but
Yeah.
it can't really do anything because of the lack of accessibility. So it would be cool to help
Those are
them out
things that people,
eventually. Yeah,
yeah, that folks don't think about, right? That we want to do
exactly.
the same things, right? Scott, well,
Yeah, exactly.
your story is super, super interesting, and thanks for sharing space with us today. We're going to make sure that we link all of your stuff for the Blind Striker to the show notes so everyone will be able to come and visit. And, I'm sure that we're going to have you on again because I want to do some accessibility conversations with you on certain things. So we'll definitely
But
be
yeah,
having you
yeah.
back.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be on here.
Yeah. So thank you everyone for joining us on the EKO Lens, where we view assistive tech through the eyes of lived experience. If today's conversation sparks something in you, share it, rate it, and keep the dialogue going. To learn more about the beautiful project or to support our work, you can visit echovisionfoundation.org. Until next time, stay curious, stay connected, and keep staying with love. Bye, everyone.